Choose yourself without apology. Stop apologizing for choosing yourself. Yes, I said it. Stop explaining why you need peace. Stop feeling guilty for having boundaries. Stop shrinking yourself so other people can stay comfortable. Choosing yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. And if you have been putting everyone else first while slowly losing yourself, this message is for you. Welcome to In Her Next Chapter, daily motivation for women who are rebuilding, healing, and learning how to step into the woman they are becoming. Today we are talking about choosing yourself without apology, because sometimes the next chapter of your life requires one powerful decision. I matter too. Let me ask you something. How many times have you ignored your own needs just to keep the peace? How many times have you said yes when your heart wanted to say no? How many times have you stayed silent because you didn't want to disappoint someone? How many times have you put yourself last and called it love? That is the pattern many women live in. We give, we pour, we support, we sacrifice, we show up for everyone. And then when we are tired, empty, overwhelmed, or emotionally drained, we feel guilty for needing rest. We feel guilty for needing space. We feel guilty for wanting more. We feel guilty for finally saying, I cannot keep doing this. But listen to me carefully. You were not created to disappear inside other people's needs. You were not created to carry everything and call it strength. You were not created to lose yourself just to prove your love. Because real love should not require you to abandon yourself, and peace should not cost you your identity. Somewhere along the way, many women were taught that choosing themselves meant they were being selfish. But that is not true. Choosing yourself means you recognize your value. Choosing yourself means you understand your limits. Choosing yourself means you are no longer willing to live exhausted, resentful, and emotionally empty just to make everybody else comfortable. It means you are finally saying, my peace matters, my health matters, my dreams matter, my healing matters, my future matters, my life matters too. And that is not selfish. That is wisdom. Because when you keep ignoring yourself, something inside of you starts to shut down. You lose your joy. You lose your voice. You lose your confidence. You lose your sense of direction. You start existing for everyone else, but you stop living for yourself. And then one day you look in the mirror and wonder, where did I go? But today we are interrupting that pattern. Today you are remembering yourself, not the version of you who only survives, not the version of you who only gives, not the version of you who stays quiet to avoid conflict, but the woman underneath all of that, the woman with dreams, the woman with purpose, the woman with feelings, the woman with needs, the woman with a future, the woman who deserves peace. Choosing yourself does not mean you stop loving people. It means you stop leaving yourself out of the love you give. It means you can care for others without betraying yourself. It means you can be kind and still have boundaries. It means you can be loving and still say no. It means you can be generous and still protect your energy. It means you can support people without carrying what was never yours to carry. That is power. And sometimes choosing yourself will make people uncomfortable, especially the people who benefited from you not having boundaries. They may say you changed. They may say you are acting different. They may say you think you are better than them. But sometimes what they call you changing is really you healing. Sometimes what they call attitude is really you finding your voice. Sometimes what they call selfish is really you finally learning self respect. So do not let guilt pull you back into a version of yourself you are trying to outgrow. Do not let people's reactions convince you that your boundaries are wrong. Do not apologize for needing peace. Do not apologize for choosing rest. Do not apologize for walking away from what drains you. Do not apologize for wanting better. Do not apologize for becoming stronger. You are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to protect your mind. You are allowed to protect your heart. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to say, this does not work for me anymore. You are allowed to say, I love you, but I cannot lose myself for you. You are allowed to say, I need time for me. You are allowed to say, no. And no is a complete sentence. You do not always need a long explanation. You do not always need to defend your decision. You do not always need to make people understand. Sometimes your peace depends on your ability to stop over explaining yourself. because the right people will respect your boundaries, and the wrong people will reveal themselves when you start having them. But either way, choosing yourself is still necessary. Your next chapter cannot be built on self abandonment. Your healing cannot grow in a place where you keep ignoring yourself. Your confidence cannot rise if you keep making yourself small. Your purpose cannot fully bloom if you keep giving all your energy away. At some point, you have to come back to yourself. You have to ask, what do I need? What do I want? What is draining me? What is no longer healthy for me? What kind of woman am I becoming? What choices support her? Because the woman you are becoming needs your attention too. She needs your discipline. She needs your courage. She needs your honesty. She needs you to stop betraying yourself just to be accepted. And she needs you to choose her, not later, not when everyone is pleased, not when life is perfect. Today, today, choose yourself without apology. Choose your peace. Choose your healing. Choose your growth. Choose your voice. Choose your dreams. Choose your future. You can love others and still love yourself. You can serve others and still honor yourself. You can be there for people and still be there for yourself. You are not selfish for needing rest. You are not wrong for having boundaries. You are not difficult for wanting peace. You are not too much for deciding that your life matters too. You are allowed to become a woman who no longer abandons herself, a woman who no longer begs for permission to grow, a woman who no longer apologizes for protecting her peace, a woman who stands in her power and says, I choose me too. So here is your challenge today. Put yourself first, not in a cruel way, not in a prideful way, but in a healthy, honest, necessary way. Do one thing today that honors you. Take the rest, say the no, set the boundary, write the plan. Protect your peace. Make the decision that supports the woman you are becoming. And when guilt tries to rise up, remind yourself choosing myself is not selfish, it is necessary. Share this with a woman who needs permission to stop apologizing for choosing herself. And remember, your next chapter begins when you stop abandoning yourself and finally decide, I matter too. I'll meet you in my next video. Goodbye.